Welcome back, troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Yeah, we don't get too many Fenders around here, but this thing was too stupid looking to pass up. And when I say stupid, I mean it in the kindest way possible, because I love weird oddball guitars, especially like this. So this is a limited edition Fender Telecaster from the year 2015, part of their 10 for 15 special edition type thing, where I guess they essentially did 10 unique designs or limited edition guitars with different finishes, things like that, for the year 2015. This is the double cut Tele. So, I mean, if you're not familiar with the Tele, usually you only have this cutaway right here. This kind of just goes to the body and kind of curves down a little bit. Now, when I first ordered this guitar, I was thinking, you know, this is going to be really easy to play. I'm going to be able to get all the way up here nice and comfy. However, my first reaction when I got this guitar, I took it out of the case, I started playing, I started going up here, I realized this double cut does absolutely nothing for the guitar except for the aesthetics of it. Because you still have this giant heel right here. Now, I'll give Fender credit, they do kind of have this cutaway right here where they sand down so it's not super sharp, which allows you to get upper fret access. I'm not saying you can't get to all the frets on this thing. I'm just saying you still have this giant thing in your way, so this double cut really is just aesthetic purposes. It does nothing for playability. So now that that's out of the way, this is pretty much just your standard Telecaster. Now, I haven't reviewed too many Telecasters. I think I've maybe owned one, maybe two other Telecasters in my life, so I don't have a lot to compare it to, but I will say I love the Tele tone. I love the Fender tone, but for whatever reason, I'm just not as into Fenders as I am Gibsons. They don't quite have as many flashy models. But again, this is a 2015 limited edition double cut Tele. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Alright, the face of the headstock, nothing too incredibly different on this one. You have your Fender logo, and it says Telecaster, and it says Made in USA. You have your single string tree there, and you can adjust your truss rod from there. Original nut, I mean, this guitar is in good shape, very lightly played. Your frets are in great shape as well, just very minor wear, if any. Now, one of my favorite things about Fenders is they have maple fretboard options. And I don't know, for some reason I really dig maple fretboards. I know you don't really feel the wood because it's coated in a lacquer, but for some reason I think that makes it easier to play. And as they age, they start to kind of have a cool wear pattern, but I like them when they're nice and clean. Now, I know there's a thing, I think it's called a slab neck, something like that, where the fretboard is actually a part of the neck. I think this is what this one is, because I don't see a seaming joint between the fretboard and the neck. And I don't know, that just might be common practice nowadays. As I said, I am far from a Fender expert, but I thought this was just too funny looking to not review. So the body is ash, and I think it's beautiful. I think there's a lot of nice wood grain. I think this is what they call a see-through blonde. I mean, as far as Telecasters go, this thing is very pretty. I mean, when you're playing it, I don't know, I think my mind just fills in the gap. Because as you're looking down, I'll kind of show you this angle. You still see this heel when you're playing it, so your mind doesn't even recognize that there's a second cutaway. So it's just kind of a, hey, look at me, I've got an interesting guitar type thing. So the pickups in here from the factory are custom shop pickups. I think they call this a twisted Tele neck, and just your standard single coil in your bridge. Now, in my experience of playing this guitar, maybe this is just how all Teles are, this bridge pickup is incredibly hot. I'm going to say it's like twice as hot as the neck. It really overdrives your amp and gives you that, you know, country twang and whatnot. But then once you get it towards like the middle positions and the neck, it definitely smooths out a lot better. The only thing condition-wise is you have some scratches on the scratch plate here, and either a deep scratch or a crack by that screw. We'll take a look at the back of the headstock here. This is a USA made guitar, serial number US 15102638. You have your Fender tuners on here. And there's not much to go over condition-wise on this one. I believe this would kind of be profiled as like a medium C. I mean, it's fairly large, but I would definitely compare it to like a 50s styled neck on a Gibson. But it's a very nice rounded profile. I mean, it's definitely not thin, it's not stupidly thick, but it's just kind of that right area, I think, right in between. Alright, as we went over before, this is a limited edition, and they do have this area right here sanded down. That way it helps with upper fret access. Once again, you have the double cutaway. Now when I bought this guitar, I was actually scared that maybe this guitar would be less stable, because now you don't have this piece of wood here either. It reminds me of like some of the double cuts and SGs where they have weaker heels. I don't think you're ever going to have any more additional problems than you would any other Strat. I think you might get your typical little line right there, but there's none of that currently on this one, as you can see. Back of the guitar, once again, you have quite a bit of nice wood grain, I think. No major buckle wear, I mean, just a little bit. I mean, this is pretty much a new guitar. It just has some smudges from handling and playing. I didn't really see too much wrong with this one. So overall, as far as Teles go, I think it's just something different. I think it's fun to take a weird looking Telecaster like this out, because people will take a second look, they'll be like, hey, half your Tele's missing there. And it's like, yep, it was a limited edition run. Now personally, on Telecasters, when I play them, I don't like this setup. I wish this knob would be like a little farther towards the middle right here, because when I was playing it, my finger just naturally catches on this, and it has very sharp little grippers on it, as you can see here, so that kind of hurt. And once you're in the bridge position, it's really hard to get it out of it. But maybe I just need to adjust to Teles. So double cut Telecasters, how do I feel about them? I think they're a cool novelty. I don't think I would pay a premium for this guitar, but it definitely has a nice sound to it. So check one of these out. They might not be for everyone to purchase, but I think they're a lot of fun to play. This Tele weighs 7 pounds, 2.6 ounces. This double cut Tele comes with its original Fender hardshell case. I've got to give it to Fender. They make really nice cases, or at least they buy really nice cases. You can see this one has a few smudge marks, but nothing, too incredibly bad. But the inside, it's form-fitting. This works for both Telecasters and Strats. As you can see on the label there, a Strat Tele case. But, I mean, it form-fits to the guitar. I mean, it's perfect. This one actually has some of the original case candy, as you will. Silica packets, and it looks like this one originally came from the Music Zoo. Now, I actually really enjoyed the tones from this guitar, so I hope you guys enjoy the demo of this one. The cleans will be running through a Gibson Super Gold Tone GA30RV. The dirty tones come from a Marshall JMP 1C. hope you troglodytes enjoyed this review of a strange Telecaster here. This one's already spoken for, but I'd be happy to help you find another guitar if you contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, Trogoys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.